And we welcome you back, everybody, to the 2015 Big Sky Media Kickoff. I'm John Oglesby, the Media Relations Director over football in the Big Sky Conference, and we're joined by the incomparable Ed Lamb of Southern Utah University. Ed, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Incomparable.
Well, you're just, watching you on the golf course yesterday. I mean, that's right.
I'm so grateful for that word. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we do what we can. So, it's your 8th season in Southern Utah now, your guys' 4th season in the Big Sky Conference. How would you define kind of the growth of your time at Southern Utah?
Well, I appreciate that question. I think I'm growing on a daily basis. I think our team is too. A year ago at this time, we had 2 returning senior starters in our program. I really saw that as a strength. I thought, wow, we're going to be good for several years to come. We weren't very good last year in terms of wins and losses. I think we had a pretty good team that lost a lot of confidence and identity, and so a lot of I'm framing the answer to your question in recent history.
Yeah.
I think we learned a lot about holding on to identity and leadership from the coaches down through the veteran players, and we need to do a better job of that moving forward to have success in this conference.
No doubt about that. So it's interesting, you go to the playoffs in 2013, you take a big of a step back last year. Where are you at now? Where did you see yourself coming out of spring?
I believe we have our strongest team that we've had. This will be my 8th year at Southern Utah. I believe our talent is better than it's ever been, but most importantly, the off-season commitment level by the players.
Yeah.
The commitment level in the weight room and in preparation throughout spring ball, but also academically. We're riding a high academic wave right now. Citizenship-wise, the guys have been tremendous in the community, not just staying out of trouble, but being active in the community, being leaders in the community service, etc. I'm really excited to work with this year's team.
It was interesting talking with James Cowser yesterday, who's just a tremendous representative of the Southern Utah program. He said that there was a lot of confidence in that amongst the players, even after last season, because of that spring. What's it like when you have a guy like James Cowser who's that confident and that optimistic about the upcoming season?
He is certainly out in front. He's carrying the banner for us. He has for a long time, but I saw a tremendous difference in him going into the final game of last season. Mm-hmm. I really feel like the final game of last season was in many ways the first game of this season. A disappointing season a year ago. Everybody on the team knew that. We articulated that. We struggled through that together. I thought our juniors last year in the final game took a step forward, and they made they talked about sending the seniors out the right way. Yeah. They talked about getting a victory on the road. They talked about on the bus ride home, they were going to be the next group of seniors. And I think we've reached a turning point there. The momentum of that game transcended throughout the offseason. James is obviously at the front of that, but he's got 12 other seniors that have taken on that role, taken it very seriously.
You've obviously worked for some of the great minds in the college game. How has your experience, with working with great coaches continue to shape you even to this day?
On a daily basis, I think about the example. It could be just something small that I'm doing, but the example of Jim Harbaugh or David Shaw, Tom Cable, these guys, their work ethic, the way they approach things, all a little bit differently. Go back to Coach Edwards at BYU and the way he approached his players. Mm-hmm. I never heard him a single time talk about a technique of football or a strategy of football. He was much more concerned with where we were at mentally, where we were at socially, academically, and that level of genuine concern about our welfare as human beings was something that I think was a strength for us as players at BYU. So I've tried to take a little bit of everything from each of those guys, but tried not to be a cheap and unworthy copy, and try to bring my own sincerity to the business. Yeah,
no doubt about that. So what's got you most excited for this upcoming fall?
It's game one. We I think a tremendous advantage to open up against a great opponent. Utah State's been on an unparalleled run of success. Through several players now, through several different coaches and quarterbacks, and the amount of wins that they've racked up in their recent history is just for our whole university, for our community, the chance to go in there and see how we measure up and can we play confidently against an opponent like that. And I'm glad that it's such a worthy opponent because in in this business, we try not to look past the first game.
Yeah.
And I think there's no room for that in our case.
Yeah. What would you have to say, last question, then we'll let you go. What would you have to say to your fan base as you get ready for this upcoming fall?
You know, our fan base has been pretty local and pretty small, so I think I've probably said it to them all. They're all excited. I think I had lunch with about half of our fan base just last week. We have tremendous support within Cedar City, and a high percentage of our students and our community are really involved in what we do. And they know our players personally in so many cases, and see them around in such a small town. There's a huge level of excitement right now about this year's version of the T-Birds.
Okay, well, Ed Lamb, always good to see you.
Thanks, John.
Good luck to you this upcoming season. That's going to conclude the 2015 Big Sky Media Kickoff live stream. We invite you to please join your local media outlets as well as visit the Big Sky website for continuing coverage of the events this weekend and into the fall season. We look forward to seeing you all around the Big Sky Conference this upcoming fall. For all of us, I'm John Oglesby saying goodbye, everybody.